we are going to run operations today. And operations consist of processes and activities. In order to consider productivity innovation, we are supposed to improve processes. So we need to run operations and processes and so on. I'm gonna consider this textbook. This is a very famous textbook written by Krajewski and Richman. Okay, so in order to fully understand our lectures, you can refer to this textbook on your own. Okay. Contents are as follows. Introduction to operations management and service process strategy. Especially we are focusing on service processes because in this online lecture is about improvement in service sector, right? Supply chain is an interrelated series of processes within and across firms that produces a service or product to the satisfaction of customers. Okay. Supply chain management, the synchronization of a firm's processes with those of its suppliers and customers to match the flow of materials, services, and information with customer demand. This figure illustrates the supply chain view. To the left, you can see external suppliers. And from external suppliers, the company will receive materials and some parts. Okay. So in this view, you can see supplier relationship process. Okay. This is your core process. Next, you can see new service product development. Okay. And next, order fulfillment process. The fourth is customer relationship process. These four are core processes in this view. And on the top, you can see support processes. To the rightmost, you can see external customers. Okay, this is the supply chain view. In support processes, you can consider human resources, accounting, information systems, and so on. Also, you can consider marketing or finances. We need to understand the meaning of operations management. The systematic design, direction, and control of processes that transform inputs into services and products for internal as well as external customers. Okay, so systematic design, direction, and control of processes. Okay, transform inputs into services and products for internal as well as external customers. This is the meaning of operations management. This is the definition of a process. Any activity or group of activities that takes one or more inputs, transforms them, and provides one or more outputs for its customers. Operations are a group of resources. You can consider resources as processes actually, performing all or part of one or more processes. In an organization, there are several functional areas of a business. First, you can see operations in here, marketing and finance. Okay, they should be integrated. Also, in the center, you can see support functions, accounting, information systems, human resources, engineering. Most of all, you need to understand the role of operations in here. Okay? Materials and service inputs can be transformed into products and service products in here. This is the main role of operations. Actually, in this online lecture, we are focusing on improving productivity. So, we need to understand the meaning of productivity. Productivity is equal to output over input. Okay? So, that's our goal. In order to achieve this goal, we can improve the processes in service sectors. Okay, so we are going to focus on improving processes from now on. This figure illustrates how processes work. There are inputs in here, outputs. Okay, in the middle, you can see processes and operations. The numbered circles represent operations. Within the operations, you can consider processes. Also, you can consider internal and external customers. External customers can be considered as end customers. Also, internal customers can be considered as employee in the company, and they are communicating information on performance each other, as you can see. Service and manufacturing processes can differ across nature of output and degree of customer contact. Okay. In this figure, if you go to the right direction, a service process is more likely. Otherwise, if you go to the left direction, a manufacturing process is more likely. So, on the right, there are main characteristics of a service process. On the left, you can see main characteristics of a manufacturing process. Let's see the main characteristics of a service process. Intangible, perishable output. Output cannot be inventoried. High customer contact. Short response time. Labor intensive. Quality not easily measured. Okay? Please keep that in mind. Okay? So quality not easily measured. Labor intensive. Okay? They are all good pointers in service process. How can we develop process strategies? First, we need to understand the definition of process strategy. The pattern of decisions made in managing processes so that they will achieve their competitive priorities. Okay? So, this is the pattern of decisions. Okay? So how can we make a decision? We can consider these areas. Okay? The first, process structure. The second is customer involvement. The third is resource flexibility. The fourth is capital intensity. Layout is specially considered for a manufacturing process. So, in these areas, we are building up process strategies. Okay? So, this is very important concept. Finally, we are building up strategies for change, process re-engineering, process improvement, which will lead to effective process designs. There are several dimensions of customer contact in service processes. Okay, you can see several dimensions to the left. For instance, when you consider physical presence, okay, the physical presence is true, we may expect high contact, otherwise low contact. Okay? Let's consider the second dimension, what is processed. If what is processed is people, we may expect high contact, otherwise low contact. We can do the same things for the last part. We are considering process structuring in services. There are several factors in here. The first, customer contact. The extent to which the customer is present, is actively involved and receives personal attention during the service process. The second one, customization. Service level ranging from highly customized to standardized. The third one is process divergence, the extent to which the process is highly customized with considerable latitude as to how its tasks are performed. The last one is flow, how the work processes through the sequence of steps in a process. In building up process structures in services, we need to consider these four factors. So we can construct a customer contact matrix in figure 2.2. The x-axis represents customer contact and customization. Y-axis represents process divisions and line flows. Okay? If you go to the right direction, which means less customer contact and customization, if you go to the lower direction, which means less process divergence and more line flows. So you can consider three combinations in here. The first combination is for front office, where you are going to consider high interaction with customers, highly customized service, and flexible flows with individualized processes. We can do the same things for hybrid office and back office. So finally, in service process structurings, we are going to consider front office, hybrid office, back office. Let's consider process strategy decisions. First, we need to consider customer involvement. Next, resource flexibility. The third, capital intensity. There are several possible advantages in customer involvement. Okay? I cannot enumerate all of them because of the time limit. Okay? So, the first increased net value to the customer. Also, I need to explain the meaning of customer involvement. What is the meaning of customer involvement? Customers can be involved in the business, okay? You can consider IKEA, the furniture manufacturer. The customers are buying the parts and then they are assembling the product, okay? In this case, the IKEA customers are highly involved in the business, so which can be considered as a customer involvement, okay? Also, we can consider possible disadvantages. Can be disruptive, managing timing and volume can be challenging, quality measurement can be difficult, okay? Let's talk about resource flexibility. We can consider flexibility in terms of workforce and equipment. Okay? We can consider flexible workforce and non-flexible workforce. In terms of equipment, we can consider general purpose equipment and special purpose equipment. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? We are considering flexibility. Okay? So in this figure on the right, we can consider general purpose equipment, okay, more flexible equipment. And also we can consider special purpose equipment. Then there is a break-even quantity, right? So previously we have used only special purpose equipment. Then we are replacing that with more general purpose equipment. Okay? In this case, if we produce up to this break-even quantity, we will get more revenue by using general purpose equipment. Okay? In order to calculate this break-even quantity, we can use some linear algebras. Then we can calculate this break-even quantity. I will explain this in this application. Okay, a restaurant is deciding whether to roast coffee manually or to purchase a coffee roasting machine. Okay, this is a decision problem. Okay, if roasted manually, investment costs for equipment are only $10,000. The summaries are available in here, okay? And then at what value would VBC is indifferent to these alternative methods? Actually, we are supposed to calculate the break-even point. So, based on some algebras, we can calculate this break-even point, 13,000 frames in here, okay? Let's move on to capital intensity. We can consider automation in here. So we can automating manufacturing processes and also service processes. Also, we can consider economies of scope. Okay? So when it comes to capital intensity, we are considering automation in manufacturing facilities or service facilities. We need to make a decision, okay, in automating the processes. Okay? Okay, let me explain re-engineering. Re-engineering is the fundamental rethinking and radical redesign of processes to improve performance dramatically in terms of cost, quality, service, and speed. Actually, we are conducting re-engineering in order to improve productivity. Okay? Okay, so I like to point out radical redesign of processes. Okay? There are several key elements in process re-engineering. The first element is critical processes. The second one, strong leadership. Next, cross-functional teams. The next one is information technology and clean slate philosophy. The last one is process analysis. Okay? All of them are highly important in process re-engineering. Throughout this lecture, we are focusing on process analysis. What is process analysis? Process analysis is the documentation and detailed understanding of how work is performed and how can be redesigned. Okay, so I like to point at documentation and detailed understanding. Also, we need to understand the definition of process improvement, the systematic study of the activities and flows of each process to improve it. Okay, so improve is important. Okay, this is the Six Sigma process improvement model. This is very famous. In the first step, we need to define the process. In the next step, we need to measure the process. And we analyze the process, then we can improve the process. Okay? And we control the process. Okay? This model is also called DMAIC model. Okay, let me spell it. DMAIC model. This is a very important keyword in Six Sigma. Okay, also we are extending this model concept to some quantitative models such as control chart and process capability index or something like that. So we need to understand this concept of this model. Okay, first we need to define the process. Okay, so we need to decide the scope of the processes and boundaries, and we need to collect data set in this measure step, actually. Okay? Measure implies that we need to collect some data from the processes. Okay? Then we can analyze the collected data in the third step. Okay? Then we can improve the processes from the findings of the data. Okay? From the data. Okay? Then we need to keep monitoring the process in order to control the process. So this is a very important concept. We are going to apply this concept to control chart and the process capability index or ratio and so on. Okay? Today we studied process strategies. Okay? In the next lecture, we are going to study process analysis. Okay? Thanks for your attention. Bye-bye.